Hi darlings, thank you so much for joining me on my channel today. And today I have a Bible journaling process for you in my Crossway 2-inch Bible. This is my fall Bible. I will list below an unboxing of this Bible if you haven't seen it. And I am journaling the Creative Retreats September Kit Anchor of Hope. I wanted to really wrap up this devotional, and I had one more verse that I wanted to go ahead and journal in my Bible. So I'm going to be doing that today. I pulled out some of the leftover goodies that I have. Not too many of the cardstock sticker left, but I am going to be working with the Faithful Digital, some inks, some stamping. So let's put you on fast forward and let's dig in. Okay, so I wanted to start off to add some color to these pages just to give it a little bit of color towards the edges. And I didn't have a color that directly matched the Creative Retreat kit, but I am using the Creative Retreat Mermaid Teal ink pad, and I love their ink pads. They're super juicy. They always have a great saturation and they show up great on Bible pages. But what I'm doing here is I'm using a smaller round brush than I usually have, and I'm using this with the color Mermaid Teal, and I'm just tapping it and adding a little bit of color all over the edges. So I'm not rubbing it in the ink pad because I want it to be a very light, faint color all through the edges. This is a very small margin Bible, so if I would add tons of color, it would kind of overpower the page. So that is what I used there. And then I'm going to go ahead and heat set that color because I don't want it to smear or to get on my fingers and then I get it all over everything else that I add here. So I'm just heat setting that color, and then I will add the rest of my elements. So I'm journaling here in chapter 42, where David is speaking to the Lord about his grieving and his mourning and his pain and suffering. But I also love that throughout this chapter, you see David kind of give himself some encouragement. And that last verse was another verse of encouragement. So here I am using some Faith-Filled Digitals together with some other things that I had in the kit to create a big statement piece that represents Jesus being my hope and my salvation. So you see me using this this Faber-Castell pen, and I love this color. It matches really well with the kit. And what I do is I use that to outline the word Fetty Christ that I got from the Faithful Digitals, but I'm also using it on these cream colored cardstock alphas. You can definitely jazz up your alphas, make them match, and that's what I did here. So I am moving and kind of placing that title over on the left-hand side within my margin. And I'm going to be gluing this down. I use my favorite liquid adhesive, which is this Tom glue adhesive. It allows me to move things. This Tombow Mono liquid glue, it takes a minute for it to set, so it allows me to shift and move things, as you can see here. And I love that it's great on Bible pages, it's great with paper, it's even great with wood veneers I've found as well. So I am going to pull some of the letters that I jazzed up with my Big Pit brush pen. And that way that matches the kit, and I'm using some things already in my stash. So definitely that's a little tip for you. I'm using some of the tile alphas to create some of the other words. And when I finish my title here, it's going to say Jesus Christ is my hope and my salvation. I am going to be using a mixture of the Faith-Filled Digital, some of the cardstock stickers, some other things, and just everything to put this page together. This devotional was written by Andrea Lucado, and I love the sentiments that she has towards the end of the devotional. She talks about her seeing her hope in Christ as permission to hope in all other good things, and that it doesn't limit her hope. And I also love that she makes it so relatable within this devotional content, because there are times that we are going to be upset, we are going to have disappointments, and we see this here with David in this psalm. But we also see that she is finding permission in Christ for her to be able to continue to hope. And so I wanted to dedicate this page as that, as me seeing, you know what, Jesus Christ is my hope. And because he is my hope, there's so many things that I have seen in the past that reminds me of his goodness that will give me hope for the future. Here I wrote out salvation with that Tau Alpha on some of the, on actually a journaling card, just using a little bit of that green and adding a little bit of that blue. And here I'm punching out with my 1-inch circle punch. This is by Fiskars. And I use this to punch out these little circles that come within the kit. And so I'm going to layer a couple of these circles right here on this page just to give it a little bit more decoration, or just a little bit more elements to tie in the whole theme of being anchored in hope. So then, grabbing the stamp set that came with the kit, I'm going to add some wave details to the bottom of my page. So I'm going to add that to my stamp block, and I'm also going to use the same Creative Retreat color, the mermaid teal, that I used in the border of my page. And to make that a little bit more random, I'll add some paper under my Bible page, and each time that I stamp it down, I'm going to shift over that stamp just a little bit to make it more randomly placed. And now I also add a tab that I stamped out with my tab punch from the paper swatches from the Faithful Digitals, and add some washi to secure that at the top. So here I block out verse 11, which is the verse that I was focusing on, and I write to myself, "Oh, my soul, the Lord has so much more in store for you. When the storms roar, remember all the times that he has calmed the storms before. Don't lose hope." And that wraps up my journaling, just being upfront and reminding myself that David had to speak to his soul as well in the hard times. And so we have this example for us to follow, that we can't lose hope yet. God is not done with us, and he is going to calm the storms, even if it doesn't look like it's going that way right now. I underline my journaling and write a big amen, and that wraps it up. That is it, darlings. I really like how this turned out. I am really enjoying kind of pushing myself in this 2-inch margin. And I love that I add some color around the border and just a little bit of waves. It's small, it's simple, and it's just what I had time for. Sometimes just a little bit of journaling, a little bit of Jesus to record your season is all you need. So I'm gonna link this below, and I hope you consider subscribing if you are new here. I hope you become part of my darlings. Thank you so much for joining me each and every video here, darlings. Hit the like button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. Let me know below, what do you anchor yourself in? What do you think about when you are in those tough seasons of life? I'd love to gain some tips. Maybe you can encourage some other women in the comments. And thank you so much for joining me each and every video, darlings. God bless. Bye.